Cleveland County, good morning. We are here at the Health Department, Department of Social Services, the new facility for Cleveland County. This is a Tuesday, and we are at the Farmers Market here with Two Wives Vineyard. I have to my left Raul, the working farmer.
Thank you.
And I have here Carolyn Brown and Forrestine Teague, who is Loretta's sister, who is one of the two wives. And we are talking about melons this month. They have watermelons, they have cantaloupe right here. I know that's hard to see. There we go. We have a beautiful cantaloupe. Smells good. And Raul, can you tell us how the growing season is this year for melons?
Well, they're really been good so far. You know, besides we have all this hot weather and no rain.
Right.
So we're happy because we still got some out.
Yes.
And the watermelon.
Sounds like it's good.
Yes, the watermelons, they're good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it so far.
Mm-hmm.
So we're happy what we got.
Right. Well, ladies, tell us what you do with the Two Wives Vineyard.
Well, this is my first time coming to the farmer's market, but I run the store up in Toluca when the grapes are coming in.
Okay.
That's my job.
Ah.
I'll leave the rest of it to Loretta.
Yes, so the farm, for our viewers to know, is up Highway 18 on the right. Are you in Cleveland? I'm sorry, on the left. On the left, that's correct.
It's Cleveland County.
It is Cleveland County. And when do you expect your muscadines to start coming in?
Ross says this weekend,
No,
but it'll be a couple.
Oh, goodness.
Got a big sun this weekend, nothing happened.
Right.
It might be
right.
a couple weeks before we get the store open.
Okay. And Carolyn, have you helped at the farmer's market before?
Yes, ma'am. I go every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Okay. So yes, thank you for bringing that up. The Two Wives Vineyard is at the farmer's market here on Tuesday, which is a wonderful thing. On Wednesdays in downtown Shelby, and Saturdays downtown Shelby.
Yes.
And of course, I'm sure we have panned we don't just have melons, although that is our main interest for our television show. There are even some fried pies here, folks. And Loretta made those, am I correct with that? But we have all these other wonderful vegetables. So we can thank you for providing good, nutritious, fresh foods without very much of having to travel. You're coming from the Toluca area down to us so that we can have this wonderful food. All right. Well,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you all for being here. And stay tuned, folks. We are going to have a surprise as far as where we're going to be for filming both the talking about the nutritional value of the food and where we're going to be cooking our melons. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Linda Hopper, and I'm excited about Woman to Woman right here on C19 TV. Each month, my guest and I will chat about issues relating to women in general, but with a special focus on women right here in Cleveland County. Our topics will range from serious issues such as domestic violence and workplace challenges to fun topics such as fashion and healthy lifestyles and much, much more. So please join me as we discuss the issues, interests, and inspiration of women everywhere on Woman to Woman.
Right here, right now, right here, right now.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Well, Cleveland County, good morning. We have a treat for you today. Besides, we have our Family and Consumer Sciences Cooperative Extension Director, Agent, here with us this morning. We are at the Inn of the Patriots in Grover, North Carolina. As you can see, we're not in our typical setting. And so Marty has certainly opened up his home for us. We'd call it a hotel. But as you already know, we are focusing on melons this month in August. And Nancy, they're abundant, and let's just talk about melons.
Okay. Well, Deborah, good morning, and it is ideal to have melons as one of our summer foods that we're featuring on Cleveland County Kitchen. And here in Cleveland County, we grow primarily two types of melons. Those are watermelons and cantaloupes, which are always tasty and a real treat when we begin seeing those at the farmers market and even at our local grocery stores. Some of them feature local produce as well. Of course, there are other melons in the melon family, honeydew and some others that are very familiar, but those are not grown here. We are primarily not specialty melons, but watermelon and cantaloupe.
Well, first of all, we need to know how to select the proper and the most fresh melons.
Yes. Now, we have some things that we all think about thumping and shaking and those kinds of things, sniffing. Those have not been proven to be ideal test. Although I myself have been known to thump some melons. But you really want to select a melon that is fully ripe. And to know that, of course, we'd have to be talking with the farmer to know whether or not they were selected and picked when they were at their peak, because melons do not have starch that converts to sugar, so for that reason they don't get any sweeter once they are picked. They can, however, get more juicy once like you bring them home, and you'll want to select a melon that has a symmetrical shape, that has no soft spots or bruises and that type of thing. Again, talk to your farmer friend there at the market to see if it is, picked ripe and at the peak. Then when you take it home, just store it room temperature until you're ready to cut it, and then you can cut and chill, or before you serve, you'll want to chill your melons.
But you can also chill. Like I've taken a watermelon before and put it in the refrigerator.
Yes.
Or as I mentioned, if you have a cold creek running by, you could put it in the cold creek.
Yes.
And let it chill.
You could. If you have space for the whole melon, watermelon or cantaloupe, you can do that. Be sure you wash your melon before you just wash it off before you put it in the refrigerator, or certainly before you cut it, because remember that melons grow on the ground.
Correct.
So we will want to wash those as well as wash your hands and so forth for the food safety aspect there before you cut into that.
Right.
Now, once you have cut your melon, of course, it does need to be stored in the refrigerator in a plastic bag and used within a couple of days.
Okay, certainly. Well, now, why should we eat a melon? Number one, besides it tastes good, or they taste good, what else are we getting out of our melons?
Okay, yes, melons are another nutritious food. They're fruit, of course, and we get vitamin A, vitamin C, some potassium, and it will vary if you're talking about a watermelon or a cantaloupe. You'll get some variation in whether something is a high source or good of these things. But you also find that it is low calorie.
Oh, good.
Right. Low sodium or no sodium. No cholesterol. So again, a very good choice. It has lots of varieties. Of course, with watermelons, we can have seedless or seeded watermelon. Most of the watermelon we are familiar with are red, but they can also be yellow.
Yes.
Have the yellow flesh and so forth. So just a good variety. We can use watermelon and, of course, cantaloupes, any melon in either eating just out of plain as a standalone, nothing better than a bowl of fruit, or on top of a salad, or mixed in with a compote, with other fruits and berries. Different types of dressings could be added.
Certainly.
Soups.
Correct.
Salsas. And in our fact sheet, we will have a variety of ways for you to use your watermelon and cantaloupe. Both, with the salsa and some other things, mixing with avocado and some other healthy, nutritious foods.
Well, I was at the farmer's market Saturday, and I have to mention that there was a vendor there who was just demonstrating, and he put watermelon in a blender and then added some other things and then froze it and had it like as a popsicle.
Okay, yes.
So
you could do that, or an icy, or put them in smoothies with various combinations.
Correct.
So there's nothing more versatile and, of course, delicious and juicy.
As a melon.
As a melon.
Well, Cleveland County, stay tuned. We are going to be cooking. Actually, we'll be carving a melon. We thought this would be much more interesting than you can follow a recipe, but Marty will be demonstrating carving a watermelon, and I think he will be making some sort of a pirate ship out of this watermelon.
We've got a treat in store.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Steve Putnam, and I'd like to invite you to join me for the next Talk of the Town. Each week I get to meet with some of the most interesting people in Cleveland County, and each show is packed with information you need to know to stay connected to our community. From promoting upcoming events to discussing local subjects that impact you, Talk of the Town has a little something for everyone. Plus, we're on every day, so it's easy to catch up with us. That's Talk of the Town, every day, every week, right here on C19 TV, Cleveland County's channel, only on Time Warner Cable.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
When we started in January of 2004, I don't think any of us thought it would last 11 years. I think what's made it last is the difference in personalities. People have to learn something that they don't necessarily read in a local paper, especially about local politics. And to some degree, it has to be entertaining. I think that's probably what Dean and I have done the most of, is help make it entertaining from time to time. I think the really good thing that's made it fun for me is getting to know people with different political views.
Welcome back, Cleveland County. As we've already spoken, we are filming today in the inside of the Inn of the Patriots down here in Grover, North Carolina. This is Marty Mangello. His associate Kim Hambright and Laura Crocker is here to my left. The Inn of the Patriots is a bed and breakfast here in Cleveland County. Of course, anybody can stay here. You just have to make some reservations.
Sure.
We are about 2 miles west of the Kings Mountain Battleground.
Yeah.
And the entire house. And as you can see, what we have here and behind us, represent the colonial theme and the fact that we are in this very historical area. Monty, by the way, was also chef at the White House for President Bush and President Carter.
Hired actually during H.W. Bush, and then going to work after about a year of the family being investigated. Finally was actually President Clinton was in office at that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're not only talking with history, but we're talking with somebody that's famous as well.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah.
Well, here's our watermelon.
Yeah.
So let's get at it.
Right here off the farms in Cleveland County. Wonderful to have this donated. And so nice of you to drop this off
yes, you're
on
welcome.
Saturday. And Kim, I think she brought these in to you. Yep. And delivered them. So also, didn't you bring some cantaloupes?
I did.
From the farm?
I did, from the farm as well.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. What we would like to do with him is really make something nice, you know, for a barbecue or a birthday party this summer or fall. Got all this fruit coming in for the fall and summer, and this is the time to do it, right? So we did a couple different ones here today, gang. And you can see, actually, Laura did the seal down there with the honeydew. And he's balancing the little ball on the top of his nose, Laura? Yeah. And what kind of fruit did you decide to put in there?
I've got some cantaloupe, strawberries, grapes, and some blackberries. I have some lemon limes in the front, some leaves for garnish. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah. And those little pointies, we call those a Vandyke Cut in culinary terms.
Oh, all right.
So for folks out there that have been to culinary school, and I know we have a lot of chefs in the county, this is a classic Vandyke Cut. If you feel like that's too aggressive to try to carve the seal, balancing a ball on his nose, just doing something like this, very simple, is nice.
Of course,
instead of, you know, cutting it in half, just a little Vandyke cut. And I did this horse right here with half of a watermelon.
So yes.
Yeah, just turning him and essentially going in, and you kind of just go all around slowly, and you'll be able to break it in half. And we always cut a safety base, a flat base. So Laura, can you kind of just lift that up a little bit? That's actually a flat base for safety. Very important.
Oh, you've cut the bottom off.
And look at what she's got on the plate there. We always put a safety rag. Okay. So if you are going to make one of these, I would say, and bring it to church, Wednesday night supper dinner, or for any type of event, the worst thing that happens is you're carrying it and it flies off the plate onto the ground and
or slips in the car. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, Marty, let's get to carving here.
This guy, pretty simple. We're kind of looking at him across the middle, and we want to make that point here on the Viking ship.
Okay.
Okay, and it always has the point on the back. Okay, so pretty easy to do. I always mention to people, keep your hands and fingers out. So just so the camera can see, I would not be holding this like this and cutting towards my hand. Really dangerous if you like your fingers. They're kind of neat to have around in your old age. So that's the biggest thing I would say about this is keep your hands and fingers away. And we also did real nice today a watermelon raspberry soup that we have here on the table.
Yes, and that recipe, Marty, will be in the newsletter that's a part of our program.
Beautiful, beautiful. I did kind of like an initial cut, okay, there, and I'm shooting for the points. Okay, so everybody out there in TV land can kind of see. All right. And then I'm going to go back the second time. So I would say don't try to be too aggressive. All right. Males are technically the worst. It's better to make your design first.
Okay.
And then go back and go deeper the second time around.
Okay.
Okay. And when you go to get this out, it kind of helps, Deb, just to do a cut right down the middle.
Certainly. Oh, and then pry it loose.
You can easily see how we're getting, and give me a big spoon, will you, Kim? You can kind of sort of see, gang out there, how we're getting the Viking ship okay? And just like Laura did over there, this is dangerous to cut on now.
Certainly.
Okay?
Certainly.
And I'll just lift this one up and show everyone in TV land. We did a flat...
So you did a straight edge.
Yeah, and we got the little paper towel there to soak up. Okay? Makes everything a lot more stable and safe. So just take your time with this at home. All right? Better to go slow. And look at where my hands are and the knife. At no time can I possibly, even if it slips, is where fingers end up, and you're over in Shelby at the hospital. So I wouldn't, obviously, okay, yeah, it's better to take your time and do a couple of cuts. And if you're not happy with it, and I was not happy with this one today, because I put him down and he was kind of, you know, tilted.
Yes,
it's pretty easy to go in there, Deb, like this and just fix them up.
Of course.
Okay. And this is all good vittles right here. There's no need to throw all this away.
Yes, and of course you can make the melon balls out of the inside of this.
And at worst, I mean, you know, a lot of this we've already designated today for the chickens. So some of these pieces, if we can't, you know, it's going to go out to the chickens. Pretty easy there. Just carve this whole thing out, fill it up with fruit. Not hard to do. Okay.
Now, Marty, while we're cleaning this out, talk about where we are, the bed and breakfast. Do you serve? People stay here at night, and then in the morning they get a breakfast.
Get up and they have a 6-course breakfast. One of the more popular ones, of course, is red velvet pancakes with cream cheese syrup.
Oh yes, I can imagine.
Just so we could win on Earth, this weekend we started the pumpkin pancakes. Okay, and we're always very interested in winning and being the first to market with pumpkin products, because that assault is getting ready. Everything pumpkin coming up soon.
Of course it is.
So
we are thinking fall and cooler weather, of course.
We wanted to make sure that we won the pumpkin battle on Earth and had the first pumpkin products issued. You guys can see at home how easy this is to do here. So
you get your shape first. You cut your shape on all of these, and then you just scrape out the inside.
Yeah, just do that now. We've got, of course, ready to go. And, you know, if you're looking at it there, it's kind of crooked. I'm going to try to make this more correct. Okay, and then, you know, the shields on the side of a classic ship.
Yes.
Yeah. You got to have the shields because the Vikings always put them on there.
Of course.
Today we're using Meyer lemons, which was something that a gentleman actually from the Department of Agriculture brought to the United States from China. Okay. So just slicing some shields. Limes also for the shields, just put them on. And Laura actually cut up a bunch of these cantaloupe balls, but we've got honeydew balls, grapes, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries cut in half that I did. Looks pretty fantastic. And one of our friends thought it would be neat to have the, you know, dragon on the front.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and guys at home, don't forget to put spears into the front and the back of the ship. Okay, so I'm just going to move this away with Kim. And let me bring this guy up.
Yes.
You got to have the spears in the front and the back. And I was teaching a friend of ours, Grant, he's 8 years old, how to do this.
Yes.
And I told him, you got to put the human skulls on top of the spears, because that's what they did. And his mom was kind of like, what's he talking about over there with Grant? She come over and he was like, God, yeah, let's put the heads of the enemy on there. They do that. I saw that in my textbook. So today, guys, we have raspberries and blackberries on
for
top
the
of
heads of our captives, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, Marty, this has been absolutely phenomenal. Something so unique that we've never even done before.
And the
so
sale
we appreciate all of this, Marty.
Is this not pretty obvious how to do this, Deb? With a piece
yes.
of copy paper out of the copy machine or the
Certainly,
printer at home.
Certainly.
And I did this with a red marker. And
right.
I actually just lashed together a couple of these skewers. What are these called? Bamboo sticks?
Bamboo skewers.
And
yes.
just go for the plunge, guys.
It in there.
And I made them billowing, okay?
Oh, of course. It's sailing down.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much.
Okay.
This has been so exciting
Deb.
and so informative. Stay tuned. We'll be back next month. Thank you for watching.